It can be easy to take one look at Super Mario Galaxy 2, see the same gravity-controlled traps and spherical worlds from its predecessor, and dismiss this as a by-number sequel to the superb original. But by assuming you know what to expect from Mario's latest adventure, you will be doing yourself and this game a great disservice. This is not only the new standard by which every 3D platformer must now be judged against, but it seamlessly integrates so many elements from Mario's 2D roots that it stands toe-to-toe with even its genre-defining progenitors. This is an instant classic that belongs alongside the best games Nintendo has ever created. There are lots of different activities to take part in, but everything comes with the same glorious prize, a shining star. It takes 70 of these precious celestial bodies to make it to the end of the game, but there are many more hidden throughout the universe, waiting to be discovered. No matter what you're doing in Galaxy 2, everything feels perfect thanks to ultra-precise controls. It's a breeze leaping between walls, performing a deadly bunt stop on a fallen enemy, or jumping across dangerous lava traps. The camera does an admirable job of framing the action, giving you a clear view even when you're dancing on the ceiling in reverse gravity room, or leaping between floating meteors in space. There are a few times when the angle is less than ideal, making it difficult to line up exact jumps, but for the most part the camera performs its duty with flying colors. The wealth of different objectives in Galaxy 2 is mind-boggling. Just about every star introduces at least one new mechanic, continually surprising you with an unheard-of level of variety. Whether you're running around a spherical world, battling a giant boss, or taking part in a frantic race, everything is fleshed out and lots of fun. Because your goals are constantly changing and are always at a high level, Galaxy 2 never gets stale or predictable. If the huge variety in goals doesn't sound like a big enough change, there are also power-ups that further mix things up. The most notable addition is Yoshi, the lovable dinosaur with the prehensile tongue. Once on this green fellow's back, you can point at enemies and objects with the remote and slurp them up in his ample mouth. There's also a power-up that lets Mario roll around like a Goron from the Zelda series, a special suit that lets you create clouds in midair, and a drill that lets you dig through soft spots in the dirt. All of these power-ups build on their most basic functions as you get deeper into the game, forcing you to look beyond your preconceptions to use them in unique ways. Although most of the game is in 3 dimensions, letting you explore the environments with little restrictions, there are 2D levels as well that cement this as the most varied and complete platformer out there. These stages are exceptionally well designed, going much further than the standard running and jumping Mario is known for. There are times when gravity is flipped, or you have to swim, or you're just flying around as a bee, and all of them are really fun. These 2D levels are not as fast-paced as what you would find in Super Mario World, but they're still great diversions from the standard action. Not only must you nab every star within these stages, but there are hidden comet coins as well. These special tokens summon a comet to levels, giving you a challenge to take part in. The comet challenges are the most difficult goals in the game, but it's a real treat to sink your teeth into these levels and try to overcome their punishing traps. Most of Galaxy 2 is relatively easy for platforming veterans, but there are plenty of stars that will push you to your limits, and these prove to be the most satisfying to earn. Many of the levels end in boss fights, and these are just as varied and exciting as every other aspect of the game. One of the early battles is against a slithering dragon floating above a craterous moon. It flies dangerously overhead, showing off its colossal might before it dives below the surface and burrows underground. That's your chance to attack its glowing red pustules, but it's not going to be easy. Dragons don't like to be punched, and it will flood the screen with a wall of fire to keep you from poking its weak spot. Every boss requires a different strategy to overcome, and it's a real treat figuring out what needs to be done and then going in for the kill. The Bowser battles are particularly impressive. He's absolutely gigantic in this game, and striking him down for the last time is immensely satisfying. There's nothing quite like bringing down a treacherous foe who has been hounding you, and Galaxy 2 does a fine job of making its bosses big and imposing enough to ensure they are rewarding to conquer. The incredible action is tied together beautifully by the visuals and music. This is a gorgeous looking game. The levels may be home to snapping piranha plants and explosive bullet bills, but they are eminently welcoming. The attention to detail is outstanding, but the music may be even more impressive. Using a great combination of classics and new material, all the music fits the action perfectly. The older songs have been remixed, and what's most interesting is how they sound even better than they used to. Galaxy 2 is a game you do not even have to touch the controller to enjoy. The sights and sound are so enthralling that you can sit back, relax, and take everything in. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is simply an outstanding game. The few problems that exist are so small they hardly impede your enjoyment one bit. The camera is still not perfect, the story would be better if it was removed altogether, and some of the game is a bit too easy. But these are just nitpicking what is another superb entry in the long-running franchise. Everything is so well designed and so much fun that it's easy to get sucked into this world for hours. Galaxy is so good that it's difficult to imagine where Mario could possibly go in the future, but that's hardly your concern now. In the present, Mario still proves that he's the king of fun.